OnSight.
Marxo Fiji, is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Marxo Fiji, okay, good deal. Welcome to the OnSight Interview, my guy.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Absolutely, glad for you to be here. So as always, the first question is, I want to hear about the name. So it's got to be some type of meaning behind the name, Marxo Fiji. So break that down for the viewers.
Well, see, like that's the thing, right? So like back whenever I'd say 2017, 2018, me and my brothers, we both had like names, and we're like, okay, what's something that could like captivate an audience? First one I thought of was Little Fiend, because we were like, this was when I was making secular type of music. Okay. So the reason being was we were like, okay, dark stuff sells. So we ended up saying Lil Fiend, you know what I'm saying?
The negative
Fiend,
bias, yes.
Yeah, so then he picked Young Psycho, but it's spelled like psycho. And then we were like, hey, we're gonna go that route. And then we were like, nah, we're not gonna go that dark route like that anymore. So I ended up just saying Marco one day, and now it's like Fiji. And then I just put it together. That was it. But I don't know, something about it though, it looks cool. And people always tell me like it looks like something that stands out. So
Marxo
yeah.
Fiji, like Marco Fi, I said Figi, or
it's the X goes over the C, but a lot of people actually thought it was like a gang type thing. They'd be like, "Why'd you cross out the C for?" But it's like kind of like, think of like how The Weeknd, how they have like the XO thing. It's kind of like mystery almost. So it's like Marxo Fiji.
Bro, I didn't think that at all, because I see a lot of people like change letters, and you might be able to give me insight into this. I see some people who change. Well, I know when you change the C to a B or something like that, I know what that represents. But I see artists will change the U to a V. So is that like
something similar? Like, yeah, because I mean, it was just a style type thing. I was like, Marco, like the C didn't look as good as the X did, because the X kind of like leveled it. Like, it's weird. Like, I studied how the layout of the like name was. It was like the M was the highest point, and then it literally just went across, and then like the I had that perfect dot there. But when I put the C, it was just like MAR curve, and it was just like the X, like, I don't know, it's weird, but I did like a lot of studying into that type of stuff.
And see, what most people won't even realize is that you just gave them a lesson on graphic design.
Yeah, that's something that I actually, I'm glad you said that, man, because a lot of people don't know, like, that's something I actually was like big into. And that's why, like, one thing that I've noticed about you actually did like a big part for me with I seen how you go for things whenever I was at the Isaac's podcast. When I was there, I seen how you were going about things. You do a lot that I do, but I never actually went to the extent that you go to it for, like videography and stuff like that, and graphic design and stuff. And I just thought that was interesting, because I see that you're like a jack of all trades also. So
I'm a creative, man. I just like to, this is my passion, being in a creative space, whether I'm in front of the camera or behind the camera, whether I'm in front of the boards or I'm on the microphone. I've always been the creative type. I want to contribute by helping create. Yeah. So, no, that's cool. That's cool. Dope. I definitely appreciate that that acknowledgement. Yes, sir. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to say that because of the type of music you make, I was telling my pastor that I was going to conduct this interview today. And he actually gave me the question. So you, sir, you are very, very special. Shout out to Bishop Charles Millett.
Nah, definitely shout out. That's actually dope, man. That's
dope. You get a one-of-a-kind interview today. So these are some deep diving questions, and I don't have a bunch of them.
Okay.
But it's the questions that I ask. I think these are designed to really make us think, and to give our authentic self. So.
Not for sure.
I've already given you the first question, which is what's the meaning behind the name? You answered that. So now that we know the meaning behind the name, I want some insight into your story. So the question would be, what is your why?
Man, okay. So this is kind of long. I'm trying to condense it, but pretty much I was big. Like, my parents always taught us, me and my brothers. We had a group called Carolina Boys.
Okay.
Back in like 2010, made our first song wherever my dad brought us to the studio.
Nice.
And we've always been big in music and stuff, but we all kind of started like backing away from it and started doing our own things. But me and my oldest brother, we both stuck into it, and that's why I told you the darkness stuff started coming in. We're like, what's going big? People having all these flickering things, horns in the background,
Yep.
all this other stuff, all this demonic stuff, checkerboard floors. You know, it's just like a bunch of things that catch people's attention.
Right.
So we were
right,
just
right.
sitting there just day in and day out, just studying. And it got to a point where we were being just like the secular artists that doing the dark stuff. And up until a year ago, I had an encounter with Jesus, and it changed the trajectory of everything. It got to the point where I even deleted all, for the past, since 2020, since the pandemic, I started like investing in ads, all this other stuff. And I got to a point where I accumulated about 30,000 on YouTube. That's my biggest platform.
Okay, good deal.
Across all my videos. I only had like 4 videos out, but I did that and I deleted them like about a month ago. And that was my turning point where I was just like, I have to get anything that it wasn't of God out of there. And I have to focus on what I'm doing now. Because one thing I noticed that a lot of people don't do, they're scared to delete the backlog of stuff that they did. And that was the changing point for me, where I was like, man, like, if I'm really gonna ride for him, if I get to a point where my new stuff gets heard, I'm gonna be exalting the bad me in the past. So I have to really be like, I had to really think about it and be like, hey, I have a responsibility. Even if only 5 people find those old songs, I'm gonna have to email Spotify for some of the old songs to get off, because I've been trying to delete them, they won't delete. So I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, man, I'm telling you, that's one thing that I'm really big on, is just trying to rebrand. I've had to rebrand like 3 times. I had to, like I said, I was Lil Fiend. Marxo Fiji was like whenever I started doing more melodic sound and stuff. And then after all the dark stuff, like I said, and I made that switch, now my whole thing's content. And it's crazy, man. I prayed on it, and I've never been able to make content so easily. So that's my strategy now.
That's good. That's good. Thank you for that answer. And I'm going to add this to you. I saw a post on Instagram to where a music industry executive is breaking down what people are. And his words were, most artists don't realize that they're not a rapper until they make it. But in fact, and you just spoke to this, they are content creators who happen to rap. And until you get broken, or until you get to the point to where you're offered a deal, or you have a fan base that is actively supporting your music financially, then you are in fact not a rapper, you're a content creator, because it's the content that people see that helps grow that fan base. So that is good. That is good.
Because that's one thing to add to that. Before I even did music the way I'm doing it now, I did YouTube, and I grew my YouTube channel up to like 3,000 subscribers, and that was my passion at first. And I got into a relationship, and it killed the drive for that. But that was the beginning of like a lot of that stuff. Like I knew how to like keep people engaged, all that stuff. But the thing is now with TikTok and Instagram Reels and stuff, I'm starting to realize how short people's attention spans are nowadays.
Absolutely.
So it's like those 2 platforms are completely different. Like I can make a YouTube video and it'll do really good, but if I was to go and try to make, like for instance, what I've been doing Reels, you have to like do them ADHD, like edits where things popping up every 5 seconds, zoom in, zoom out.
The medium has changed. So like you said, if we go back 2010, when really the explosion of YouTube and all of the independent artists, I'm not going to say rappers, but independent musicians, independent artists, indie filmmakers, right? We all kind of took off, but then once you get your Instagram and your TikToks forming, that is all short form content. You know, the videos went from being horizontal or landscape to vertical.
That used to be demonized for a while, man. Everybody's like, why are you holding your phone up like that?
Right.
But now it really did just turn that. That's crazy.
So you just have to, I guess, keep up with the times and understand that technology is constantly evolving, and if you don't keep up, then we will definitely get left behind.
Definitely.
So that's good. That's good. And I kind of, and just to circle back before we move on, when I was doing my research for this interview and I am looking at your Instagram page, I felt like you probably did a dump or something, because I think you had like 10 posts. And I'm like, dude has been doing music for a while. I remember you saying that in the Isaac Yardbird podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm like, ain't no way he just got 10 posts, but I do understand that we want to make sure the content is updated, so we will go through and clean stuff up. So
yeah, because that's the thing, like one thing, this is kind of off topic a little bit, not really, but it's about the content. I seen something like you said, like it was like an executive talking about it, and they were saying we're in a day and age of earworms, and they call it earworms because it's like, I was always worried that if I posted the same song multiple times and with different content, that people will get bored of it and just tune out. Some people do, but it's weird, right? Because like I noticed people that don't like the first one might like the fifth one, or they might like the sixth one, and then it's a new little bubble each single one I post. And then other people, next thing you know, I have people singing the song to me and tell me, bro, this song is fire. By the 17th time they hear it, they like it. And it's like, now it's starting to click into me. I can be literally cooking and put the phone up and put the song behind it and just be like pointing at the camera or whatever. Like I just posted one with me peeling a dragon fruit at work, and it got like 40 something likes already on TikTok. Like, and that's what I just do constantly. Just like, okay, that can be content, this can be content.
Absolutely.
Crazy.
Content is king. Everything is
crazy.
Content.
It's like it's weird. It's like your mind really does have to, like, you have to consume it and then it clicks. And I always didn't know what to post on TikTok.
And see, what we didn't understand is, before streaming, right, we were playing CDs, we were listening to the radio. How many times did they play that song on the radio? Yeah. And you heard that song and you was like, I can't stand this record. It's trash. But by the 10th time you heard it, now here we go. Yeah. I remember for me it was Hotline Bling, Drake.
Nah, for real, yeah.
Could not stand that record.
That
but
dun, 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 dun. That
by
gets
the
everybody
20th time, because they playing it on the radio stations like 3 times every hour. And you know, you got a 2-hour drive, you driving from Sanford to Charlotte. By the time you get there, before you know it is, all I know is Hotline Bling.
Nah, for real.
But I still hate this song.
Nah,
but
for real.
I've become programmed.
Yeah.
So that part, people don't understand. Yes, it's consistency. And in order for a seed to grow, you must first plant it and water it. It doesn't just, boom, you put it in the ground and then it gives you an apple back.
Exactly.
It's not that simple.
Yeah.
Been in my zone, feel it still in my spirit, I've been on my own. Still just living my legend till my day's gone. Still been feeling grateful just for making it home. Giving me grace, feelings of God, let's give him some love. Giving me space, hold the applause, just give me a hug. If I said that I would catch you, would you fall for me? If you ain't heard from me lately, would you call for me? I'm in this ride like, wow, I really came from nothing. I remember days, it was pain and suffering. Making it to brighter days was my main discussion. Now I'm making music daily and they saying they love.
So sticking in that same vein, you said you switched up. You did secular type music at one point, and now you're doing Christian hip hop, or what is the genre? Like, I don't want to label it and put it in one particular box.
I'm very alternative. Like I said, I've had so many different influences. Before, my problem was I didn't like stick to one sound. So like people would come to me, I make like a rock type alternative song, then I'll make like bars, and then I'll make something that's like just melodic. So it's like right now I'm sticking to trying to like just do bars for now and do melodic stuff too. But I'm just gonna stick to those 2 types of things and then just see what people gravitate to the most.
But overall, your message point is positive. It is Christian. So if we had to put you in a box, would you say that you are CCM, what is that, Christian contemporary music?
I'm be honest, I didn't even know about the like contemporary.
You didn't know that?
I didn't even know that was what it was called. But probably, I'm gonna be honest with you, I just live myself as, like you said, an artist. Like, kind of like
That's good.
content creator kind of. It's like I just make whatever I feel in the moment.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. Good stuff. Okay. So then what makes you go so hard with your craft? No, I have to say this like Bishop gave it to me. What makes you go hard in the paint with your craft?
Well, I can't lie. The drive now is God and getting that message out. Like before, it was like, this is something I have on my board. I have a whiteboard in my room, and I like write down certain things I learned from like Proverbs or something. And something that stuck out to me recently, I've been so caught up on chasing money. Like everybody's always about chasing the bag, chase the bag, chase the bag. And my why too, I'm married. So
congratulations, sir.
Thank you. I would say, man, having a wife is the biggest blessing, bro. The biggest, and people, we're in the day and age where people don't value that, man. That's
true.
That's the push.
That's true. I'm gonna let you speak on this for a moment. Go ahead, man, get it out.
Your wife will push you to be a better you, man. Like, if I didn't have her in my corner, I would have quit music such a long time ago, man. And like the crazy part is we've only been together a year and a half. We've only been together a year and a half, but I've had an ungodly woman, and I definitely have a godly woman now. And it wasn't always that way for both of us. We both came to Christ at the same time.
Nice.
And
nice.
That's my why. She's my why, and he's my why. And it's only because, man, like I see, it's crazy. It's like when you walk in the Spirit, you can see how like messed up things are. I can't even listen to drill music anymore because I can feel the stuff that's in
energy,
it,
right?
That energy
right.
that's in there.
Right.
Like you can see how lost everybody is, man. Like it's really wild. And I always tell her I want to be that whenever we do have children one day. I want to have that influence on them to show them like, hey, no matter what's going on over here, you don't have to be like everybody else. Because I always wondered why I didn't click with certain people, but a lot of people in jail, dead, or something else. You feel me? Or hooked up on some type of drug.
Yes, sir.
And I always thought something was wrong with me, and I had to fit in. And the thing is, I did fit in with the right place. He was just waiting on me. So that's my thing.
Boom. It ain't no more to that answer. That is the absolute perfect answer. And no, I'll add this. I've learned that people are sent in our lives for a reason or a season. And it is up to us to determine which is which. Everybody isn't supposed to be privileged to our journey, but they are supposed to contribute to, I guess, our learning or our going through the valley, so to speak. So, that's good. That's good. Okay. I want to play a game. So on OnSight, we always play this game called Who You Got, right? So it's basically a game of this or that. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw out two names. I'm gonna give you two artists, and without taking too much time, you will pick one. So if I say Drake or Kanye, you would spit out whoever comes to your mind first. Yeah. But for you, sir, you know, we want to challenge you. So we want to see how versed you are, how well versed you are in your Christian hip hop or your positive rappers. Okay. So hopefully you know all of these gentlemen. I definitely know all of these gentlemen.
I hope I do. 'Cause I've definitely been more into it now. Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
So here we go.
So
got nervous. Here we go.
Hold on. So that's good. That's good. I got you nervous. Okay, that's where I want you. All right. So here we go. Who you got?
All right.
Derek Minor or The Truth?
I don't know them.
Don't know. Honest answer. Appreciate it.
I definitely have to check them out though.
Derek Minor is he's a monster. I can't say The Truth music is bad either, but you talking about some lyrical guys? Yeah.
I definitely need to study some more people like that.
Okay. So what about Trip Lee or Tedashii?
Tedashii. I've heard of Tedashii.
Okay.
But I haven't heard like any of his music.
Bro, you gotta look him up. You gotta look him up.
Okay.
All right, so you gotta know these two then. Okay. You gotta know these two because this is probably, in my opinion, the biggest name in Christian hip hop music.
Lecrae. Yeah.
Or the most controversial name in Christian music right now because of what he's doing.
Wait a minute. Let me see if I can guess. Is it NF?
Nope. I haven't heard of that person.
Oh, you haven't? Oh,
I have not.
I thought he was like he's probably next to Lecrae in that conversation probably.
But D1.
Oh wow.
Forgot about D1 and him battling with Meek Mill and Rick Ross and
bro. D1 has been going crazy lately, especially with his controversy. You're right. Yeah, D1, both of them actually. I can't pick both. Lecrae, I'll say Lecrae.
You got to go with the bigger name. You got to go with the Grammy winner.
I have to say Lecrae. Cause I watched his whole. I did right when I came into the space. Just like I did with secular music. I watched interviews day in, day out. Kanye was a big one, especially that Genius special thing that they had for him, that trilogy thing. I watched that, and then whenever I switched over, I watched a bunch of Lecrae interviews. And have you heard of Zonte?
I have not.
Man, that dude. Yeah, we definitely need to swap afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you mentioned them, and this was actually like a follow-up question to the who you got. Is Kanye a Christian rapper?
I seen something. I will say this, right? Someone said, and this kind of made me think, God can use people to help exalt his kingdom that aren't like with him fully, if that makes sense. So his message can still prevail. So the Christian songs he did make were Christian, if they had the right message in them, but doesn't make him necessarily in the right place that he has to be. And that's where I have to try to keep myself constantly. I have to make sure that I'm educating myself in order to put out the message that I'm preaching to people. Because that's one of those things I also have, like, I kind of get scared about, because I'm just like, dang, people who are in influential positions are going to get judged harsher. So
that is true. We are in a cancel culture type society now. So yeah. I could see you with that perspective. I watched an interview again. This time it is with J. Cole, and J. Cole said something to the effect of, "My influence is bigger than the pastor's, because of people will gravitate and listen to me because I rap.
Yeah.
So I have that ability to communicate and get through to a mass amount of people faster with a similar message than a TD Jakes, simply because I'm a rapper."
Yeah.
So in that vein, with what you're saying about Kanye, you know, and don't sit here and quote me, because I don't know all the stories in the Bible, but if I remember correctly, like, God didn't go, or Jesus didn't go for the people who were always the most positive, that always had, you know, something good going on. Sometimes he needed a murderer. Sometimes he needed a liar.
Yeah.
Right? So I think the message is God uses imperfect people because they are perfect for where they are.
Yeah.
So if I can, you know, if I'm on the block and I can relate to the guys on the block while we drinking, we smoking, we whatever, but I can give them that same message that I got from the bishop, and I can say it to them in a way that they can understand it. They're more receptive to my message than they would be to actually go to church.
Yeah.
So again, God uses people where they are, and I ain't want to go and
no. I was
break down and be a pastor right there.
Nah, for real, you just hit a perfect thing, because that's actually something that I actually think about a lot, because it's kind of like we're think about it like some people, like, you know, when you're in your like beginning of your walk, like when you first started, you know, you have things like, first you get the presence of God, then, like, you know, you might do something, you know, you're not supposed to do it, and then next thing you know, you back off doing some other stuff. Like, for instance, weed for me was a big one. Stop smoking. I wasn't able to stop smoking for a very, 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 very long time, man. And then, like, that was something that was a crutch for me. Like, I thought it made me a better musician. Started realizing a lot of stuff I was doing, it was killing my productivity. It was killing my relationships. It was making me paranoid. It was inviting people around me that only wanted to be around me because of what I had or like it's weird. So in that regard, yes, I was like, it starts by like you not saying God at all in your songs, and then it turns into you start mentioning God, and then maybe you start cleaning up your words a little bit more, saying less profanity, and then it gets to that point where, you know, maybe you fully commit. And that's why I was thinking about Kanye. Maybe he's not at that point where like he's fully gonna like come over. I don't know. You know, that's his walk, but
Kanye just recently released an album with Ty Dolla $ign. It's called Vultures. You haven't heard this?
Nah,
you haven't heard this one.
Oh, nah.
No, you haven't heard. You definitely have not heard this album.
What is it? What is it like?
It's old Kanye. Oh, it's old Kanye. Old Kanye.
You mean like?
It's old Kanye.
Okay.
Not conscious Kanye. Kanye after his mama died.
Ooh, okay.
But I can't say that his message isn't relevant. Like,
okay.
But it's Kanye.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll definitely check it out.
It's Kanye. That's all that can be said. It is Kanye.
I got you.
No, it's Yeezy. It's not Kanye. It's Yeezy. This is a Yeezy project. Facts.
Okay.
This is the Kevin Tudor Line, man.
It's your boy Jay Stiff.
Marcus Vontel.
Don Mac, B.O.B. the logo.
It's your girl, Lisa Marie.
Cash is
Smooth.
It's your homie Legacy No Limit.
Shout out to OnSight.
It's OnSight.
You're watching OnSight.
Peace and love. I'm Queen Water. Welcome to OnSight.
In your city tapped in and we all the way live. When we touch down, set the streets on fire. This for the real and the bosses, you know it. Artists, you popping and making some noise. You turn it on, but you wanna know. OnSight. Yeah. OnSight. Yeah. OnSight. Yeah. OnSight. Oh, OnSight.
If you no longer listen to secular music, I'm not gonna encourage you to listen to this Kanye West album. If you are still a fan of hip hop, then definitely listen to the Kanye West album. I'll put it like that.
One thing I can definitely say though is I'm at a point now where I don't like the message probably does still mess with your mind when you like listen to it, but my discernment like is kind of crazy now.
Absolutely.
Like it's to the point where I'm not gonna get influenced by listening to it because they can have something in the mall playing and
Facts.
It's like, it's one of those
you
things.
can't get around it. You can't get away from it. It's still gonna be there, but it's what do we allow to come into our system, into our spirit?
Well, if you look about it, it's like the same way people that listen to secular music tune out Christian music.
That's a good point.
So it's
a good point.
Yeah, cause I mean, I never thought I would ever be in this point. I used to think Christian music was corny. I'll be honest. And that's one thing I was always thinking. I'm like, I know for a fact people thinking I'm corny right now. I don't care anymore though. And that's where that content coming out is, man. I'm just like,
you're not supposed to care. I mean, like you said, it's designed for some person, even if it's one person. I remember I started reading a book from Hill Harper a few years ago, and I can't remember what it was on that page that resonated with me, but I felt compelled to go to Instagram and post that page and what I highlighted in the book and just talk about it.
Yeah.
I think I got like 5, 6 likes. I got 1 like from Hill Harper.
Hill Harper?
And a comment from Hill Harper.
See, that shows you it doesn't matter who those 5 people are. It could be something. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
I've talked to a bunch of celebrities online. I've touched Warwick Dunn. That's my favorite football player, Tampa Bay Bucks. You know, I've touched a bunch of celebrities. But
that's a good point of view, though. I never even thought about it.
You got to put yourself out there. You can't be afraid that somebody's going to judge you that it's corny. And because, like you started, we have to remember that even the negative bias is still attention, traction. Somebody saying your music is corny will make somebody that's curious go play it.
Yes.
Right? So
and that's those hooks that I was talking about, like with the content. That's what I've been trying to get good at, right? Because like one thing I used that got me a good amount of likes on TikTok, it was like one of my bigger videos. It's nothing crazy. Like I'm still trying to get better at like catching people's attention. But I put like quotations, Jesus doesn't exist. And then they're like,
The
then I was
negative
like,
bias.
but if he didn't, then how did he do this? And then it was pretty much my song, and then like a testimony type thing. And people listened to it more because that hook was there. Like, what? Like, so I'm trying to start playing around with that and trying to see how I can tug on people's emotions a little bit to get them to stay a little bit longer. So that's
Good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got you open. We personal with it. I'm gonna ask you the big question. What makes you cry?
Man, I'm be honest. I haven't cried from a lot, man, but I was financially broken to the point where I think that's why I don't have the love for money I do now. Because now that I got humbled, man. I got humbled like crazily bad, like, well, in a good way. But
Yeah, I am very familiar with this story as well. I'm gonna let you finish, but
Right.
I have a similar testimony. Absolutely.
no, I got you. Yeah, man. Like, I was at this point where it was actually last year before I made this change. I was doing all these things I thought I could do. I was, like I said, I was just stuck in my ways, trying everything I could, scrambling for money, doing YouTube again, trying to make games, trying to do this. I was just like throwing all the things at the wall, trying to get it to stick. And it got to a point where like I literally was just broke for like probably 6 months straight. Anything I tried to do, jobs, anything, nothing would work. And I had a problem with my car. My dad, I love my dad, man. He's very knowledgeable about cars. He helped me rebuild my motor, rebuild everything in that car. Every single time, start, go down the road, engine blows. Like, things are just going wrong, very bad. And one day, I left my wife's house, and this is before we got married. I left her house. My car was finally running. God was talking to me in that situation, and I was so far away from him. I was just doing, like, I'm telling you, like, it's bad stuff, man. And then next thing you know, I was driving down the road. My hood of my car smacks my windshield.
Wow. We
Randomly.
absolutely have the same story.
Randomly.
Keep going.
Randomly, man. It's like it smacks my windshield. I get home, the first thing I think to do, open my Bible. And I literally sat there and I wept, man. I cried. Like, I was like sitting there saying, sorry, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And the first thing I opened to in the book, it said, for you have leaned on your own understanding, and you say, I forgot where this is at, but it said, you said no one sees me. And that literally, man, when I read that, and it said, what did it say? It was pretty much like saying you're condemned. And my heart sunk. And I literally, bro, I'm telling you, when I say I cried for forgiveness that night, I can say that was the hardest I've ever repented in my life. And I still messed up after that. But, you know.
We all do. We're human.
Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's just like, that was that turning point where I was just like, nah. And that's why I told my wife now, I was like, yo, we got to get married. We got to get married. We got to get all stuff. And right when that started happening, he provided, man. He just been providing. And right now I'm in a point where I never even thought I'd be in this situation where I'm at, where I'm stable. I have my bills paid. I have all these things that I need. I have the confidence. I'm not depressed. Like, I'm in a mental space that I've never been in. And like, it was never been happening without him and without that relationship. And sometimes I even question myself, am I crazy? Like, like how did this happen? You feel me?
Wow. That is powerful. That is powerful. And even though I cannot be seen on camera, I'm gonna give you this testimony.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is so, never in a million years I thought you would have said that.
Mm-hmm.
But really, maybe 2.5 years ago, I got a Honda Civic that has some structural damage. Hit a deer coming home from work one day, right? And the front end of the car is kind of smashed up, and I'm having problems closing my hood.
Mm-hmm.
And for months, I had this vision of me riding down the road and my hood coming up and smashing my windshield.
Mm-hmm.
So, true story. I'm driving to Raleigh, got my son in the back seat, 70 miles an hour on number 1. My son asked me for something, and I look back and hear, boom. And when I turn around, it's nothing but glass, and I can't see anything because my hood came up and smacked the windshield while I'm going 70 miles an hour.
That's crazy.
Down number 1 on the far lane.
Yeah.
Now here's God in the situation. There are no cars around me.
Oh yeah.
No cars.
Nah, for real.
My son in the back seat. We're able to pull off. We're totally fine.
Man.
But I mean, I literally saw that happening for months. And it's like, you need to get this car fixed. Yeah, it's gonna cost you a little bread, but you need to sell it, or you need to fix this joint.
Yeah.
True story.
Nah,
I thank you for sharing that, bro. That's
sure,
deep.
Man.
That's deep.
For sure. 'Cause I'm glad you said that, man, because it's interesting, man, because like, just like you said, I mean, it had to be God in that situation. I don't know if, like, where were you in a certain place in your, like, walk then too, or were you more established?
I'm gonna say I'm not established, but I have aligned myself around the right people. By this point, I am the production manager at Christian Provision. I am focused on who I am allowing into my spirit, who I'm entertaining, so to speak. I'm definitely losing friends and gaining family members, because I don't have friends at church. I have family. So I'll say no. I've placed myself in the right situation, but I have not yet released that will that I need the help. I need to be better connected to my higher power. So I think as I'm wanting to do the right things in some aspects of life, God will say, okay, well, since you won't move, I'm gonna move you. I'm gonna do it for you. And now that I've done it, do you get the message? Or will you make another mistake? And then I have to do something even more drastic to get you to realize, hey, this me over here, pay attention. So I would say that I'd answer it like that.
Okay, now I'm with that, man. I'm definitely with that, because that's what I'm saying. I closed it and then I rode down the road and I did it again. Like, that was the thing. I was like, God, that was a wake up call, man. And that's what I'm saying. Right the next day I went out, the car didn't start. So I was like, I wasn't meant to be there. And then that's what I'm saying. Now, the one thing I had an issue with that whole season, man, it was almost a whole year I was without a car because of that. And now, like I said, money hasn't been an issue. This is one thing too, man. Consistency was an issue for me. I could make really good content, videos, animated videos, whatever. Consistency was my weakness. And I posted a video and I was saying it. I just had like this, I just felt like saying, I pulled my camera and I was just like, through God, anything, you can do anything pretty much. It was just like consistency and all that. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. I've never been able to post so frequently. I've never been able to make music so frequently and actually like deliver each time. And like, no matter what, I was sick. I had COVID like 2 weeks ago.
I saw that post. You was like, you were sick, but still you gotta get the word out. You gotta encourage somebody.
Exactly.
Nah, that's powerful.
I was sitting there, man, like, just, and that's one of those things. It's like, and it goes back to my why. Like, bro, like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like, I feel that need to do it. And it's like, this is my purpose in life, man. Like, a lot of people don't even have gifts from God like that. Well, they do, but they just don't know how to identify them. And because a lot of people was telling me, like, hey, like, I always used to tell people, that was my message in my music before I turned like fully to this, contemporary Christian music. Like, so since then, like, my whole thing was always like, you know, you have to be your own boss. You know, you gotta manifest it. You gotta do this. You gotta do all this stuff. And yeah, man, that was just, it all came back to, it's like, no, it's not you. it's you have to do the work, but he's gonna put his hands on it to make
Right.
it possible.
Right.
Cause that's what I'm saying, man. It's crazy. Yeah.
That's deep. That's deep. I definitely appreciate you for taking the time to give me this interview. And that is really all the questions. Like, we've been through all the questions, so I think I'm gonna end it a little differently. So here's a question that just came to my brain.
Mm-hmm.
What church you go to? Shout them out.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay, now I have to be better.
Don't say no church. Oh,
no, I have to be better about this. I have to be better than this. All right, so I do have a church I do go to. It's one where my wife's family goes to, and
Okay.
that's the only church I actually had a chance to actually go to.
Okay.
And actually be a part of. Well, again, I just got my situation with my car fixed, and I wanted to actually be better at that. Now, I haven't been going. I do need to. Me and her were in the talks about getting a new church or whatever and actually committing to it. 'Cause
Really?
I want to get tapped into one. And I was telling her about it. It's funny though. It's funny though. Yo.
Because you see where this is going,
Nah,
right?
for real. It's for real.
What you doing on Easter?
Shoot, I ain't doing nothing, man. Let's go. Cause it's funny you said that, right? 'Cause I told her I haven't pointed out. 'Cause I seen your thing. I actually followed the page that y'all do the content for.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I was like, I want to go to this church. And she was like, it's like, you can check it out and just tell me how it is. And I was like, I really want to get tapped into one and actually be able to. That's crazy. No, it's crazy you said that. I told her, I was like, I want to be tapped into one so I can actually help other people that like are my age or whatever.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy.
You want to be a youth pastor?
Yes, that's what I was telling her.
And you do music.
Yo, man, it's crazy. You
I
just
need,
said that, man.
I need backup audio engineers and the whole nine. So this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do on film. This is what I need you to do.
Yo,
This is what I need you to do. I need you to pull out your phone.
yes, sir. Let's
I need
go.
you to go to Christian Provision Ministries on whatever platform. Matter of fact, go to them on YouTube so you can see what we do. And it's not even the I thing. Like, the guy taking your pictures right now, he's a director.
Oh, for real?
He's on my staff, yeah.
Whoa.
He's a director. at the
You say
church.
Christian what?
Christian Provision Ministries.
Provision Ministries. Yo, this is crazy. You just
So
said that.
I need you and your wife. So you take that home.
Mm-hmm.
You and your wife can go through the content. You can watch some of the sermons
Most definitely.
from Bishop, which is, now I'm really finna blow your mind. You will see a sermon series on that YouTube on that YouTube page called Chasing My Bag.
Chasing My Bag.
What is he talking about?
I'm gonna think he's talking about his spiritual wisdom.
He is talking about his big, amazing God.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, oh, wow.
Chasing my bag.
Wow.
My big, amazing God.
Man.
2300 Cortland Drive, Sanford, North Carolina. Pull up March 31st.
March 31st.
You know I got to have all of this out because this is embedded into the video.
Nah, I'm cool with that, man.
March 31st. 2 services.
Yo.
Pick your time, 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. We going to be there.
Okay.
We cooking up something massive for the public. So, yeah, that's it.
Yo.
Now, before we end it, of course, you're a music artist. So, shout out that current single, man, and then tell them where they can find you online.
All right, right now I got which camera?
Directly into this one.
Okay. I didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your side view, but
okay.
yeah, right here.
Okay, so yeah, I'm Marxo Fiji, Marxo Fiji. I have a new single that came out called "The Word's Been Around." All platforms. You can follow me on all socials at Marxo Fiji, and look for new content, man. We up, we posting. Praise the Lord.